that was my person. I kind of initiated it this time. I said, you know what, if you can't do this, this, and this, then we should break up. You know, you ever say something and like not actually like mean it? A little bit, hear her out and try to fix it, and not actually like agree and just be like, yeah, you know what, it's for the best. I would have never done that to you.
Put a finger down if you and your husband decided after 9 years you were going to open your marriage because, you wanted to explore what else was out there. Now your husband lives a double life with another woman and she posts public pictures on her Facebook.
It was the right choice, but I've never put myself in a position to be this physically and emotionally stressed. And I feel like even though this still was my choice, I feel like I still just have no control.
Welcome to Real Girl World, your go-to destination for all things dating and relationships. My name is Hannah Jordan and I give you the real tea. Have you ever been in a relationship and said or did something you didn't really mean? Well, grab your tea, get comfy as we discuss some women who did and had to experience the ultimate in consequences. Make sure you subscribe and careful what you wish for.
Get ready with me, day 2 post-breakup. I wish I could say it was easier today, but it's not. I tried to reach out, and just seeing my text messages go green, my calls go to voicemail, really hurt. It was like, oh, it'll be fine, it's for the best. No, you don't get it. Like, that was my person. I also think part of my frustration is I kind of initiated it this time. I said, you know what, if you can't do this, this, and this, then we should break up. Thinking, like, you ever say something and, like, not actually, like, mean it? Thinking, he'd be like, okay, she's a little annoyed here. Maybe I should listen to what she's saying a little bit, hear her out, and try to fix it, and not actually, like, agree and just be like, yeah, you know what, it's for the best. Like, I was not expecting that. Like, I was, but I wasn't. I don't know. I would have never done that to you. I don't get it at all.
I wish I could say that I feel bad for this girl, but unfortunately I don't, because I see this as an all too common problem. Men are very literal. They are very practical, and if you tell them something, they believe you. Don't say things you don't mean if you're not prepared for the consequences. And don't forget that this is her person. This is why she's so upset. And the way she says it, that she's frustrated because she initiated it this time. Well, it makes me wonder, has she done this before? Has she played games? And honestly, probably the reason it was so easy for him to leave her and ignore her calls and text messages is because she's done things like this before and he just had enough and was ready to leave anyway.
He would always look out for me, make sure I ate something. It really sunk in last night when I was going to bed and the phone didn't ring. There were no text messages, but I don't know, it just fucking sucks. Another thing that's making this so hard is I genuinely loved his family. I think they're some of the best people I've ever met in my whole entire life. They're just such genuinely good people, and I think that's also making it hard. Because I know I have to let them go too.
So she gave an ultimatum to a guy who was really good to her, who had a really good family. She didn't even mean. Why? All because she was bored? Now, if you find yourself in this situation where you're with a good guy, maybe he leaves the toilet seat up or he makes some dumb jokes, have a conversation with him. Don't play games. Don't act like this is the end of the world, because you don't know what you've got until it's gone. So imagine you're in a long-term relationship, things are going well, but things are getting a little bit stale, a little bit too familiar. So what do? You open that relationship to invite other people in. And at first, it sounds like a great idea. But you know what? Inevitably, things tend to go sideways.
Put a finger down if you and your husband decided after 9 years you were going to open your marriage because, you wanted to explore what else was out there. Put a finger down if you thought that this meant that he wanted to have fun every once in a while, but after the awful, dreadful experience of experiencing an open marriage, you decided that you no longer wanted to participate, and he said, I don't care, I'm going to do what I want. And just for shits and giggles, put a finger down if now your husband lives a double life with another woman and she posts public pictures on her Facebook, and you find her underwear in his clothes.
So we have a woman here who was married for 9 years, and instead of asking her husband how they can spice things up when it got a little boring, she decided to see if there was anything better out there. And when she discovered that she couldn't upgrade, and then suddenly an open marriage wasn't for her, she assumed her husband would be on the same page. But she never once banked on the fact that he would find it very appealing, and in the end, found someone that he liked better. So not only is she being publicly humiliated on Facebook with these pictures this other woman is posting, this other woman is, my guess, deliberately sending her underwear with this man's clothing. And this is the risk that we take when we decide we're going to take our relationship for granted. And let me tell you, you know she regrets it, otherwise she wouldn't be posting it on TikTok. This next clip coming up, I want you to consider the fact that 80% of divorce is initiated by women.
Does anybody else who's going through a divorce feel like it just takes such a physical toll on your body? I'm so exhausted, I can't sleep, and I'm stressed, and I can't remember things. I feel like when you're in the process of divorce, your whole life is just in this weird limbo. You're not married, but you're not really divorced yet. You're still living together, and you're just in this weird, unbalanced life. Is this going to be worth it in the long run for me and my kids? It was the right choice. But I've never put myself in a position to be this physically and emotionally stressed. And I feel like, even though this still was my choice, I feel like I still just have no control.
So she's going through the most stressful time of her life, and it's her fault. She chose this. She initiated the divorce, not her husband.
I feel like a normal human being again. And then part of you is just sitting there holding out hope that maybe something would change, and it doesn't.
So she inflicts this upon herself, her family, her children, and yet she still is hoping for her husband to solve the problem. She is hoping that even though she initiated the divorce, that he would step in and make a change or stop the divorce. That's not how that works.
My patience is so short. I've never felt so angry in my life, and I've never understood what a toll being an angry person can take on you.
It seems to me that she's mad at herself for her poor decision. As you'll see coming up, she still considers herself the victim. And yet, where's the consideration for her husband?
If you're a person that suffers from anxiety at all, not having control over the things in your life or the things around you just makes things 10 times more overwhelming. And I thought I would feel more in control in this situation, and I don't.
That is a whole lot of regret and a whole lot of denial, because the truth is she's always been in control. She initiated the divorce, so just remember, the grass isn't greener on the other side, it's greener where you water it. If you liked today's video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment below to help me with the algorithm. Thanks for watching.